afternoon, everyone. Colleen Light here from Kalama, Washington. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and today I'm going to be sharing this adorable card from the Snowy Wonder bundle. You will find this bundle in the mini catalog on page 32, or I should say pages 32 and 33. Today is Friday the 13th, 2024, and I'm so happy if you're able to join me live. If you are, leave a comment. Let me know you're here. And if you're catching the replay, leave a comment. Let me know what you thought about today's card. So, Snowy Wonder Bundle. Let me show you the card that I was inspired by. I received this card from Lori Miller. Thank you, Lori. I love it. And I am going to swap it up a little bit using the Snowy Wonder bundle. So this bundle comes with these fabulous images. I'll show you the designer series paper soon, and all of these dies. Super fun, super cute. I love anything with snowmans and penguins. My entire family knows that. It's kind of my go-to at the holidays. So let's go ahead and get started here. I'll show you the designer series paper when we start to cut. Let me show you a few more samples though. So I love to make Christmas tags. It's one of the things I really enjoy. So I made this tag. All I did was fussy cut this snow globe out of the designer series paper. And if you have not seen it, the Merriest Tree dies, it's another one of my favorite sets, comes with a tag die. So last year I made all of my own tags and I really, really enjoyed it. It was a nice personal touch to the gifts I was giving. This is just moving all over the place, isn't it? This is just another very simple, basic card. I did use one of the dies out of the Snowy Wonders dies, actually a couple of them, to cut out the snow globe, then did a little bit of stamping. This is a square card. Very fun, very easy to make a bunch of if you have to make a lot of Christmas cards. Very easy to just kind of kick these ones out. Here's another one I made, very simple, very easy, using the snow globes. So I think this is just a fun set. Let's get started on today's card. You know, I like to cut all the paper with you and do the card base and on down the line. Don't worry about writing down the measurements unless you really want to, because I will have it all blogged for you at the end of the day. So for our card base, if you've followed me for any length of time, you know I love to use the thick basic white. And if you're using basic white for a card base, make sure you use the thick basic white. It does hold up better. Oh, hi, Wendy. Thanks for joining. Yes, you do need this. It's super cute. So let's go ahead and cut this at 5.5 by 8.5. So we're just going to score this one piece of paper right down the middle, cut right down the middle at 5.5. And then we're going to score at 4.25. So I've noticed the sound has been off a little bit on my last couple of videos. So I'm trying to use these earbuds. If the sound is worse, let me know. Or if I need to do something different. So let me grab a bone folder. So again, I'm just going to fold this in half. Make sure you line up your edges and give it a good burnish. And thank you for everyone who sent me well wishes when I was under the weather last week. My goodness. So we're going to cut 3 different strips of paper. I started with the Poppy Parade cardstock, and I did some embossing on this. And let me show you the folder I used. I used the Stampin' Cut and Emboss 3D Snowflake Sky. And all I did is, this is cut at 1 inch by 5.25, and I lined it up where I wanted, and I just ran it through my embossing machine. When you cut and emboss, make sure you always put the seam side of your embossing folders through the machine first. Anyway, I think this is another must-have. I mean, who doesn't love snowflakes during the holiday season, right? So there's our first piece. And then let me get out our designer series paper. This is the fabulous Snowy Scenes 12 by 12 inch designer series paper. I'm going to show you the ones that I have not cut into yet, but we'll use the ones I have cut into for our next design. So look at these. This is the one I fussy cut for the tag. I just cut out one of these snow globes. And then look at all of this. So fun. You can actually just do die cuts on most of this. Oh, look at the penguins. Super cute. One thing I do want to show you about the penguin though with the dies, if you use the die to cut out the penguin, it doesn't cut out the earmuffs or the hat. You have to cut one of the solid ones. And then look at the holly. All right, so I'm going to flip this around real quick and show you the back side. I love all the colors, traditional, non-traditional. I think it's all great. So let's go ahead and cut some of this. And I'm going to stay with the same colors I used before. So I'm going to grab a piece with the holly here. And again, 1 inch by 5 1/4. I like to show you how quickly the cards come together. I think sometimes people think it takes much longer to make a handmade card than it actually does. Sometimes it takes a little bit to design them. And, really use your friends' design, use your fellow crafters' designs. I thought this one was a little too light. So I'm going to go ahead and swap it out for this one after all. I said I'd make it the same, but I can't ever seem to make the same card twice. I do think it's fun though, once the design is down, to make, 3 or 4 of the similar cards. I have a hard time making the same cards, but similar cards. So then you can see how this is going to lay out. So there's that. We have our card base. Let me keep everything somewhat organized here so I don't lose my way. You all know I have a tendency to do that. So I'm going to put our cut pieces over here. Then I want a piece of garden green. And this is where your scraps really come in handy. We want a piece of garden green cardstock or a piece of coordinating cardstock. And I want this cut at 3 by 4, 4 1/4. So I don't think this one is going to work. Maybe. Oh, it will. So there's my 4 1/4, and let's go to 3. So this is where your scraps come in handy. Oh, good morning, Barbara. Or good afternoon now, I guess. And thank you. I think it's a really cute set. So for our next layer in basic white, I'm going to grab another scrap here that I have, and I want to cut that at 2 1/2 by 3 3/4 inch. So there's our 3 3/4, and then we want 2 1/2. This is a great way, like I said before, to use up all those little bits and pieces we all have stashed off to the side. And then I need my designer series paper again, and I like the candy cane one, so I'm going to grab a scrap of that, and I want my designer series paper cut at 3 1/2 by 2 1/4. So let's go to 3 1/2 here, and I'm okay cutting all the way down this because I scored this wrong here for a card I was making. So this will come in handy. It should go right under that score line, I hope. Yep. That way I'm not wasting this entire piece of paper. Okay, let's do some stamping and then we're going to put our card together. Let me get my mat because I'm working with photopolymer stamps. When you work with photopolymer stamps, sometimes you like to have a little cushion underneath of them. If you don't have the mat that's Stampin' Up, I don't know if they still sell it or not. I can't remember. Use your catalog, just something kind of cushy underneath there. All right, so let's start with our snowman, and I stamped my snowman in Memento Tuxedo Black. And let me see here. What am I after? I am after a piece of basic white. I tell you, I miss a week of filming or doing a video, and I am completely thrown off my game. So let's just go ahead and stamp this. And I'm just going to start here. And give that a press. Give it a second for the ink to absorb, and then lift straight up. There There we go. And let's go ahead and grab the Poppy Parade. The one thing that I love is that everything is color coordinated. So in Poppy Parade, I need his hat. So I'm taking the hat here. And I like to run everything through my cut and emboss machine at the same time if I can. Let me move this one out of my way. And then the candy cane. All of the stamps that I'm using came from the one set. And then the candy cane I'm going to put there. All right, let's put this one away and grab the garden green. So this is the garden green, which coordinates with the cardstock piece that I cut. Let's grab the Christmas tree here. Just tap, tap, tap. Give it a minute to soak into our paper here. And then lift that up. And then let's go ahead and do our sentiment, Let It Snow, and goodness sakes, stamp that right there. Oh, I don't really like the way that one's stamped. Well, we've got plenty of room here, so I say we try it again. Better. For better. It's only ink and paper, right? Oh, hi, Kathy. Thanks for joining. Let's see here. I need to figure out. There we go. All right, let me move these inks out of the way and my stamps out of the way. And let me show you how we are going to die cut all of these fun pieces here. So I took this piece here out of the Stylish Shapes and I centered it. I have them all pre-cut, but I want to show you how I line them up here. And then out of our Snowy Wonder dies, so this is from the Stylish Shapes from Snowy Wonder, I took the tree, lined it up like that. Let me see here. Lined it up like that, and then I took the candy cane and lined that up. The snowman, line that up, and then the hat. And I took all of this over to my cut and emboss machine and ran it all through at the exact same time. And I have it all cut. And this will be for when I'm done with this video, I'll make another card. So I'm going to save this to make sure I cut it all really well. And I will make another card when I'm done, but let me show you how it all turned out. I did forget to do a little bit of coloring. Oh, I forgot that I cut out the stars also. Let me show you that die. I forgot all about the little stars I cut out, and I used Pool Parade for those. That is the cutest little die. I have to show it to you. It just is so, so cute. Look. How cute is that? And you get 2 of those. So you can make all the stars you want. Super, super, super cute. So let's go ahead and grab, since I forgot to do it, let me grab my light pumpkin pie, because what's a snowman without a little carrot nose, right? Let's go ahead and do that. And then the candy cane, I have the light Poppy Parade, and I'm going to use a bullet tip for that, and just color in a little bit here to dress up our candy cane a little bit. And this just takes but a moment. So do you all have any big plans for the weekend? We don't have too much going on this weekend, which is nice. There we go. Let's put our card together now. So I just looked at the card and figured out where I wanted to start. I wanted to leave a little bit of a border there. So I'm going to do that again here. I'm going to start with my embossed piece, and I actually open up the card a little bit like this to get it going. Grab my glue. I don't know about you, but I love a card, especially because I do craft shows and I send out a lot of holiday cards. Um, I like a card that comes together quickly, that is really easy to replicate. So there we go. Just make sure, kind of eyeball it. If you're really fussy, you can grab your ruler and make sure your border is spot on. I'm just going to go ahead and eyeball that. It looks good to me. I'm using the liquid glue because I want a little bit of wiggle room. But if you are a person that loves stamp and seal, also good. And let's put this last piece on. So hard for me to cover up those snow globes, though, I have to tell you. Those are so adorable. Let's go ahead and pop this here. Oh, that's pretty too. Oh, that one needs, see, this is why I need the wiggle room. That one needed to scooch over just a hair. All right, look at that. So garden green, you could pop this up on dimensionals, this base piece. I did not because I wanted the snowman popped up and I didn't want my card too bulky. So let's go ahead and put this piece down. Just eyeball it again. I'm more or less trying to center it, but I'm not too worried if it's 100% spot on centered. There we go there. Grab our white piece. And again, you could adhere all of these together before you ever adhered it to the base of your card. And then our candy canes. So the candy canes are just adorable. All right, now let's really fancy this up. Gonna get our tree glued on here, and I like to lay my card out where I want the pieces before I ever put anything down. Oh, and I want to trim off this side here. I wanted it flush with the side of the card. So I'm going to grab my paper trimmer here, take it, and just barely over where that came together, go like that, and snip that off. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. So let's go ahead and look at where we want this. That looks good to me. That looks like my sample. Let's go ahead and glue the tree down. And again, I always say it's handmade. So even if it's not perfect, it's handmade. So that's just a-okay, right? Let's grab a little bit of this adhesive here, a little stamp and seal, because I wanted to add some black twine. I thought his hat needed a little extra. So all I did was take some of this black twine and I just went around his hat. Really couldn't be any easier than that. Just went around and then gave it a snip. And, well, maybe I'll give it a snip. Apparently giving that a snip is the most complicated part of this card for me. Give that a little snip. Make sure you don't have any loose threads hanging out and about. Let's get some dimensionals and attach our snowman to the card. Oops, my goodness. I'm making a mess over here. Let's scoop some of this stuff out of the way so I can stay on track here. And I'm looking for one more thing. I lost one of my stars. Oh well, it'll turn up. It'll turn up. And let's go ahead and do our snowman here. Now what I did is I had some of these mini, as I did. Oh, here they are. Some of these mini dimensionals, and I cut them in half. I just went down and cut them in half so I could make sure that his little hands didn't get too squished when I mailed it. So that's all I did. So then those fit really well when I cut them in half, and I could adhere it to his hands. Just like that. So this is pretty. You can see this card is very easy to come together. And then I put him down here. Cute, cute. Let's put his hat on. And I just used a large dimensional for that. Oh, maybe I didn't. Maybe I used the little minis. Might have used the minis for this. Let's tuck those threads back under. And then let's use the minis here, which will also secure those threads. Pop his hat on. We'll give it a little bit of jauntiness there. And then I took a mini for the candy cane and put that at the top. And you could put a glue dot if you wanted to make it more secure on his hand. But I think this is just fine. You can see it's coming together so cute. And then for our sentiment, I just put the dimensionals off here on the side. So let me know what you think of today's card. I'd love to hear what you all think about the card and the measurements and everything else. And then I lined this piece up here. And this more or less kind of anchored that tree a little bit too. All right, so I don't know. I'm spilling these stars everywhere. So what I did is instead of using any gems or anything, I took these little cutout stars and my tweezers, because I needed something to hold it and not get all glue dots or glue all over myself, and I just did a little dot here. And then I put it on the card, on our sentiment piece. This set did, and I meant to grab it, comes with snowflakes. And I have to tell you, I had the worst time getting them to stick. I tried the glue and I let it sit. And if anyone has any tips on how to get those to stick, I think they'll work great for a shaker card. I wish I had grabbed them to show you, but I could get them to work real well. So if anyone else has found a trick to that, let me know. Anyway, I'll cut out another star when we're all done here because I seem to have misplaced it. But this is what it looks like with 3. So this is today's card, and you can see you could add a sentiment in there if you like. And then this is another one of the samples. And the square card I made, and the tag. So these are the cards I made using the Snowy Wonder bundle. And don't forget about that really great 3D embossing folder. Thank you so much for joining me. I really don't have a very set schedule, but I will bounce on sometime next week. I love spending some time together and sharing what I'm doing in my craft room. Have a great day.